Hey everybody, I am here with my buddy Chris Pryor. He's a little fuzzy today. That's okay though. I'm guessing that we the people are bogging down the internet drastically. So
I could be.
um, to kind of give a intro on Chris, Chris is a pretty incredible dude. He's a primal health coach like me. That's how we met. He just wanted to. He kind of went on the Primal Health Coach site and our Facebook community, and he was like, "Wow, I feel like there's not any other Christians that are in this primal, this evolutionary biology space." And thankfully, God works in perfect ways, and he found some posts that I had in our little Facebook group, kind of talking about my viewpoint of evolutionary biology and how it corresponds with the Bible and does not contradict the Bible in any way. And so he started reaching out to us, like me, Mike Rutherford, and a few other guys. And now he's just become the guy that if he sees someone searching, he sends them in the right direction on that Facebook group. And he is sort of making little pockets and little tribes of primal health coaches all over the country, which is really cool. Speaking of, I hung out with Mike Garasic yesterday, did a podcast with him, Mikey, Meat-Based Mikey. So, and that's all because of you. So he's a Christian dude, loves music. He's a worship singer. And he's a primal health coach, diving deep into the carnivore stuff as well. But I guess I could shut up and let you say something about who you are.
I'll just say full disclosure. I just thought you were Ryan Gosling, so I thought we had a celebrity on our primal health coach.
Hey,
so that's kind of the only reason I friended you. I was like, man, I kind of wanted to, chum up with an A-lister, but I just figured. Then I just found out you were a doppelganger, so I guess it matters.
Maybe
less, but we still became friends either way.
I think he's the doppelganger. So, but some of my best memories with any of my friends, some of the best ways to start the day and like to just guarantee you have an awesome day is to have coffee, bacon, eggs, whatever with a friend or with multiple friends. And you came and visited one time for several days, and that was every morning, man. So I do have my coffee here. Fantastic. And I have my bacon here. So.
Well, I actually recall the first time that we talked via video. That was one of the first questions I asked you. I just said, hey, describe the perfect day for me, Mike. And you kind of just went through your whole sort of morning routine to cutting and taking care of bonsai trees and having morning coffee and getting outside and stripping down and getting some vitamin D on you. And so I just learned a whole lot of good things from just your morning routine. And then I got to see it in action when I visited you. So yeah, that was super fun.
I appreciate that. What we're going to talk about today, I mean, you and I could talk about a lot of things for a long time, even just the trip you had up here, the trip I had down at your place. We could talk forever, but I want to let everybody know if you have something you want to ask when we're going through this, you can shoot us a message on here. I can throw it up on the banner at the bottom of the page, and we can ask the question. If you don't want me to throw it up there, I still want you to ask the question. I'll just try to use my intuition and know not to throw it up there. So, but Chris, something you've done that I think is super cool, and it's so out of reach for so many of us, is a home sauna. And you have pieced together one yourself for a couple $100.
Yeah, $300.
Man, I like that. You have frozen on us. So
I'm still here. My bad.
There you are. You're still here.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Yeah, back to the sauna thing. All right, can you hear me?
Yeah, you're good.
Yeah, so I was kind of intrigued by getting one. I'm a member of a health club, and before they all shut down, I would go into one of those things regularly. But then I started hearing the benefits of infrared saunas, and I was really intrigued by that. And my gym doesn't have anything like that, and I thought, yeah, it'd be pretty cool to be able to just to go in one anytime you felt like it. And I actually kind of start my day with that every day now. So it's really kind of a good way to kind of wake up, and while the coffee's brewing, I jump in there for about a half an hour and bake a little bit. And yeah, it's super fun. But I was looking at some of the infrared saunas, and I tried a bunch out. And the first one I ever got, I really felt good after it. But it was like it was a tent, right? It was a big old tent. I didn't have like room for that anywhere in my house. I mean, I could have like moved a couch. I don't know if my wife would appreciate that too much to have a canvas tent in the middle of our living room. But I can't remember the price of these things. It was like $5,000. I'm like, man, it's probably worth the investment. But I'm like, and then I started, figuring out DIY kind of things. I mean, isn't YouTube great for DIY? I mean, you can learn anything.
Unbelievable.
Pretty much so. And so I thought I saw everything from here's how to hang some lights from your laundry room closet and lay on your washing machine, to guys that were putting a lamp in their garage. But I'm like, hey, I've got a closet that I just store a bunch of junk in. So I just moved that all out and kind of converted that. So yeah, so that's it. I'll give you a quick tour. That's
sure.
Let's see it. Yeah, so I'm going to try to move so there's my closet. Can you all see that?
That's it. Dang.
That's pretty exciting, isn't it? It's just
I think I know that closet.
It's a door, yes. And so it was just storing photo albums and things like that. And most of us with multiple closets, you probably have a junk closet. It's kind of like a junk drawer, you know? And it's like, man, if you really just put some thought into it, you know, I can probably I didn't get rid of any photo albums, right? You know, because those are the first things maybe I'd save in a fire. But so as you can see, I kind of lined the walls and the ceiling with this funky stuff that you can get at Lowe's. It's I can't remember what they call it, but it's sort of like bubble wrap.
Yeah, it's a foil insulation, right?
Yeah. And so my first version of that, I just kind of used a staple gun to put it against the drywall. That did not work. So then I used like nails and glue and stuff. And then you get this like funky like tape. So it's not the best looking stuff, but you can kind of tape all the seams. And so I kind of did that on the door. Nice. And then I've got this master switch as I go in here. So it's probably pretty dark. And I flip this on. And
dang,
I am ready to go. So as you can see, I've got 4 infrared bulbs in little lanterny, I can't remember what they call these things. Holders. Yeah. Those kinds of things. And I got a little wire shelf that
like the work clips, right?
Yeah, exactly. And it's got these little guards on there, which I found out once when I was leaning over. They get hot after a while, and so I got a red X burn mark on my butt one time. So I'm really careful about.
Well, you're a tattoo guy, anyways. So.
That's true. Yeah, but I'm not really into the brand yourself. Yes. And so that's the side of it, and it's pretty cool because I got this little shelf so I can put a book up there, and this place gets pretty hot. But the thing about infrared bulbs, from what I understand, they're not like they heat not so much the air. I mean, they do heat the air a little bit, but just kind of your traditional hot sauna with like the rocks and all that kind of stuff. That's kind of heating the air around you, and that has some great benefits. But these are actually kind of heating like the insides of mass and matter. So so you can kind of stay in here for a long time, and it doesn't feel too bad. So you can put a phone up there and a book, and hopefully it won't burn down in the 30 minutes I'm there. And then on the back side, I've got this little red light therapy panel. And
perfect.
I got some really expensive ones from some reputable companies that were really, really pricey. So I know I'll get one of those maybe one day, but this one's just like an Amazon one for like $90. And I stuck a little, actually this came with it, but it's just a little like wire hanger. And so I can move it down. So this is the lowest position. So I can sit on this drum stool right here, and it can reflect on my nether regions.
Yeah.
And I can move it up here and get the back or the front, and then way up there, and I can just like stare at it.
So I have I have one of those more expensive ones, but not the ultra expensive ones. And I think where you have that, if you had it down just like 3 inches, it's like one of the best spots to detox your body using red light, because it's kind of the range from the base of the skull to the upper shoulders, like the neck, base of the skull, upper shoulders. That's an acupuncture meridian that actually helps detox your body. So, so you have that in a pretty good spot right now for detoxing, which is what you're in that infrared sauna for.
I'm glad you said that, because someone asked me the other day when I was posting something about this, or said, hey, like, what are the benefits? What can you tell? And I said, real honestly, not much. But I'm kind of trusting the science on this,
Yeah.
I feel really good when I'm in here, and I feel really good when I get out. I don't know why it is, but it's just, I'm kind of trusting that it's an immune builder. It's a great way to start the day. I do know this, it's planned stress, right? We all go through stress during the day, but I want to really plan my stress, whether that's a sprint workout or getting in here. I mean, this is stressful on the body, but when you kind of plan for the stress, you're kind of getting it released, and then it's not happening in traffic, or when you're at the grocery store trying to find supplies during the pandemic and things like that. So it's just
that's a really great way to say that. That's really interesting. And
plus it makes a really great backdrop for videos.
It does, right? Yeah. So the stress that you were talking about with red lights, I think that is so cool. Is that water or coffee?
Oh, that is. Glad you asked. I usually come in here, and it is a just little bottle of carbonated water.
Oh, nice.
So I started carbonating my own little water. So I got some purified water in here, and that's just kind of nice to sip on and suck down when you're
a little bit of sea salt in there to help it absorb.
Yeah.
So everybody out there listening, a lot of people I know when I was first researching, I didn't know the difference between an infrared light, near infrared, red light, near infrared, the spectrum, like the device behind your head, and then the infrared sauna devices. I didn't know there was a difference. Do you know enough about that to go on with that?
Nope.
Okay. So the near infrared, red, and the panel behind your head, that guy is something that can actually penetrate. It helps boost your mitochondria. It helps to it can increase collagen production. So hey, if you have stretch marks like I do, it can help your body replenish the collagen in the skin, which is pretty hard to do after like age 18. And it can help heal skin abrasions. It can help with sleep. It can help with testosterone. That's the near infrared that boosts even further into the skin. It can help bones heal. I've heard upwards of 1/3 faster. So just really amazing for trauma, for DOMs after a workout. And you know all about the DOMs doing slow-mo workouts. So yeah, that's what that gives you. And then the infrared saunas give you a handful of other things, part of which is also mitochondrial work and different things, but it helps with heat shock proteins, which is something that's really interesting. You can do cold therapy or hot therapy and have that benefit. And heat shock proteins helps a ton with mitochondria, helps a ton with that stress, that hormetic effect you're talking about. And it takes the body, it stresses the body, and then when you're done, it pulls the body back into that is it parasympathetic or the sympathetic?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think parasympathetic.
Yeah, it brings it back into the parasympathetic state, which is the less stress, the relaxed state. So, but yeah, so that's what the two different things that you are combining do, which is really cool. How hot does that guy get?
I have no idea. Like I said, it's pretty mild. I mean, it's after a half an hour. I mean, I'm a sweaty mess, and it's
good.
But it's a half an hour to stay in something that's pretty intense. It's really not too bad.
Yeah.
So I really don't know. I don't have a temperature gauge or anything like that. But the one thing I do after this is I run into a cold shower. And when I say cold, it's not freezing cold, but it's kind of what you were saying. I think I've heard a lot of science about just it really is good for mitochondrial production, and it's just a great way to kind of cool off and start the day. It's better than any cup of coffee, I'll tell you that much.
So cold water does not have to be crazy cold. Literally, if you turn your water as cold as it goes, that'll be like 50 degrees depending on the time of the year. Mm-hmm. I was listening to I think it was Dr. Paul Saladino the other day was talking about splashing cold water in your face. You don't have to do a full dunk. Mm-hmm. I think it was he and Ben Greenfield were talking. If you are super stressed, if your heart is beating too fast, this is something that they've been doing for decades in the heart, like cardiac wards. If your heart rate's way too high, blood pressure's way too high, splash water in your face. Just keep splashing or dunk your face in cold water, and it would drop your blood rate or your heart rate. Like that's easy. And I can do my face. I can't do my whole body. I am backwards, right? Like if I'm in cold water, it's almost like I would want I can handle my feet and my face, but nothing else. I can't do it.
I've heard, like cold shower. That's like the worst way to do it. You're just like, pinpoint, pain in little parts of your body. Trying to get covered with that. So
I can do the alternating. So if I start super hot, then I can bust it down to cold.
Yeah.
And then go back to hot, bust it down to cold. But I have to go hot first or else I can't handle it. So
now you mentioned mitochondria. For someone who's watching this and they say, well, what is that? I heard something about that in 9th grade biology class, but why is that important, do you think, to
the interviewee becomes the interviewer?
Yes, thank you.
so mitochondria, like pretty much anything I do in my life comes down to mitochondria. So the mitochondria are the battery of our cells, the battery of our body. And mitochondria, you have to keep those guys healthy. Every cell in your body has anywhere from like 2,000 mitochondria up to like, I think 7,000 in your eyes, and your eyes, your heart, and different organs, and maybe even your sex organs have higher mitochondria because they have such high nerve endings. I'm not sure. Side note, your feet, I think, have more nerve endings than your sex organs. So keep that in mind when you're wearing shoes. It's like putting gloves on your feet and you feel nothing all day. That's bad for your body.
Who wants to wear a foot rubber? I mean, yeah.
That's a foot contraceptive, right? I feel great for whoever just signed on to watch this. So, but yeah, the mitochondria are the batteries of your cells. And if your batteries aren't working right, you got to fix that. So red light therapy, I mean, that's like something that costs money, right? But you could just go stand in the sunlight. Mm-hmm. That's free. You could put your bare feet on the ground and pull electrons from the earth, which is how God made us and how God made the earth. That recharges your mitochondria and reduces inflammation. If you're fixing your mitochondria, it's probably also something that's reducing your inflammation. So, and then ATP production. ATP is like the fuel for the mitochondria. That's a really long word, ATP, that is hard to remember.
Phosphate. Man, we should have paid attention in chemistry class.
But yeah, so that increases your mitochondria. Workouts, micro workouts, which we're going to talk about, that increases mitochondria. Just moving all day, just slow, steady movement. If you can walk for 10 minutes after a meal, do it. That increases your mitochondria. Body weight squats once a day. Kim and I, before we jumped on, we did 5 minutes. She sets her phone for 5 minutes. Now that she's home from work, working at home, she's able to set her phone for 5 minutes. We do a 5-minute body weight workout together. It's awesome. We get to spend time together. I'm just saying, guys, if you watch your wife doing like stretching and stuff in her yoga pants, it's not a bad thing for your relationship. So, so this work from home thing's pretty awesome.
Got some benefits.
That's right. That's right. So Chris, do you want to give an example of a micro workout? Is that asking a lot of you?
It's asking nothing of me.
Oh,
that's the point of micro workouts.
Awesome.
They're so relatively easy.
You are so slick. You are so slick. Well, jump out of that sauna then and show us a micro workout.
Oh, I'm not going to actually do a micro workout, but I guess I don't know if it would be the most engaging.
Well, you don't have to then. We can do it like make our fingers do it as if we're doing squats.
Well, yeah, I'm going downstairs for a couple of reasons. One is that I will plug my computer in because I think the battery's going to die in a couple minutes here. But that's usually where I do my micro workout. So the concept, that's probably what I'll talk about first, is the concept of a micro workout is, we all know what micro means. It means small. And so the concept of it is to do smaller bursts that are very intense but don't last a long time. So I'll just kind of go, I have 4 little micro workouts, and they consist of pull-ups. By the way, there's the pull-up bar. So it's just
nice.
In the little bathroom. By the way, it's just, I got to find one door that I go in and out of. And so that bathroom door doesn't close. So, when guests come over, I have to figure out everything. But otherwise, it just kind of stays open all the time. So
that's our laundry room.
We have an open door policy on the bathroom downstairs. That's kind of how it works. So it's not the best one if you need to go in there for some extended private time, let's just say.
Yeah.
So I start off with a couple pull-ups, and then I have this little rug. I can't really show you.
One of those ways. There we go.
Rug, yeah, it's kind of a thin little rug, and that kind of that's where I do my push-ups on. So I do some push-ups, and that kind of keeps my arms, because I've been doing push-ups wrong for years. Where I kind of spread out my arms and a little bit easier that way, but now I kind of tuck my arms in and kind of reduced, just worked on my form, which makes them a lot harder to do, but get a lot more benefit from that as well. And then I come over here to this little carpeting and do some squats with a kettlebell. I've just got a little 35-pounder right here, and so I kind of do some squats, just give me a little bit more resistance, and then I do 10 swings. So and that's it. And so I do about 5 to 7 pull-ups. I do 10 push-ups, do 10 squats with the kettlebell, and 10 swings.
That's awesome.
And it's really easy. When I say it's easy, I mean it's very intense, but it only takes 1 minute and 12 seconds.
Yeah.
A
And
minute and
I
12
have a
seconds.
feeling that you know that number exactly because you've done it 100 times.
Yeah, I've timed it many times, and it's just like, and I'm huffing and puffing, but it only lasts for a little bit. And here's the thing: it's like I don't even work up a big sweat.
No.
You're not doing it long enough to do that. And so I've been doing this for probably about 6 months now, and
Yeah.
I've just really enjoyed it because, again, it doesn't require me to get my gym clothes together, to put it in a duffel bag, to throw it in the car, to jump in my car and drive half an hour to the gym, and then to
Right.
change out of those things and work out at the gym. And that's all good and well. And I've done that before, and that's still a um, good thing, maybe just to change your environment. I know people love gyms and stuff like that, but if I do this micro workout, if I do it 10 times, a couple times a week, it amounts to about 15 minutes a day. 15
Wow, yeah.
minutes a day. But then I started doing some math on this and started kind of compounding all of the weight that I displaced. And I think in a week's time, it's like 349,000 pounds of
Man.
weight displacement, And it's like, so I'm trusting that has a cumulative effect, because I know that my times going to the gym, there's no way that I displace that much weight.
Well, so bodybuilders look at it that way too, right? They actually they have apps that you put all of your lifts in, how long you're like, how many reps and everything of each weight, and it adds up, and it's like, wow, I did 30,000 pounds last week. What? I don't think of stuff like that. But when you really think, like, if you make a goal, as a guy, like, I do quick workouts. I do 10-minute workouts or less, and that is heavy weight for me. So I do squats and bench. If that's all I have, I do 3 sets of squat, superset to 3 sets of bench. Boom, I'm done in 8 to 12 minutes. And I could easily do that twice a day if I wanted. It's not that heavy of weight. It's heavy enough that I do struggle with that last rep. But yeah, that's incredible, man. You're doing way more activity than I do in one day than I do in like 3 weeks.
Yeah, and it's just, and it challenges my way of thinking, because I always just think, if I'm not just covered in sweat every time I do a workout, that it really has no benefits. And I'm not going to become any muscle superstar doing this. I don't think so.
Yeah.
But I feel like it just makes me feel good. Another benefit is that you can time your workouts, where I have a timer that, like you mentioned, your wife has a timer to remind her of certain things. Like, I've got a timer that goes off, especially on the days where I'm at a computer and standing or sitting like in long positions. It just goes off every half an hour. So my half an hour, I've got 5 minutes. And so 1 minute and 12 seconds is done doing a micro workout, and the other 3 minutes I'm just sitting there. But I can do those repeatedly throughout the day, and it's almost like a Pavlovian dog thing, where that timer goes ding, and I'm just like running the pull-up bar. But I don't have to worry about, like, I used to do the gym workouts, and it was always like, oh well, I don't know if I should do it. I got to eat some lunch, so I should probably, if I can't get there before lunch, then I got to kind of wait till my food digests and go there. 3 hours later when it's like optimal times. And there's no optimal time for micro workouts, because I can have a big 2-pound salad, be totally stuffed, and then I can do a quick micro workout, and I'm not nauseous. I'm not going to throw up.
Yeah.
There is no recovery associated with this. The old workouts, it was just like, I've like got lactic acid buildup, and I'm on the couch for days trying to get up enough motivation and just to make your muscles feel like they can do it again. I still think that has good benefits, but there's no recovery involved with micro workouts. It's just over and done with, and there's no lactic acid buildup. There's no sore muscles, none of that kind of stuff. And you can just do those day after day. And there's some days where I just like, I don't, I kind of listen to my body and feel like I need to honor that by not jumping in on one of the things. Because if you do 10 of those a day, I mean, by the 10th one, you're kind of feeling it. You're feeling not as feeling as fresh, but at the same time,
the truth. Like, if you do 2 of those a day, you're doing better than 99% of the world. Yeah. And so I do think kind of the optimal way to do it would be like maybe twice a week, do what I do with that heavy weight. Because I think you lift heavy weights, and it doesn't have to be like break your back, but it better not be easy,
Yeah.
And then you can still do those micro workouts every day if you want, 4 days a week, 3 days a week, but probably a micro workout every single day would be more optimal than 3 one day and none for 2 days, right? I mean, is there any science on that?
I mean, I don't know. All I know is that who knows? I just know it makes me feel good, and I know it's really easy to get these in. And and again, that timer, it's reminding me to change your position, because I just get lost in computer world like so many of us do. You just get going on a project, and your mind is just so focused on that, and And it's just like, hey, I got to change my position. So at the very least, I'm changing my position every half an hour and stopping what I'm doing. And here's the other thing. It's like, I always come back so much mentally more creative and fresh than I do than if I just sat there and like, oh crap, I haven't moved for 3 hours kind of thing.
I had some brain fog before we got on here this morning. My brain was kind of funky. And I think that was because I had pork last night, and pork does not bother me unless it's like, it was just Costco pork. It wasn't anything special. And that on occasion messes with my brain. I did that little 5-minute thing with Kim, some push-ups, some body weight squats, and something that I found recently that I really enjoy called a metabolic stretch, which is kind of like a couple yoga moves combined. I'm on fire now. It just lit up my brain. But something I really want to point out with you, Chris, that you always amaze me with is I always want to know the why, the this, the that. And you have knowledge on that. You really do. But you always just go, I don't know. I just feel great. And you simplify things in such an amazing way. Like, I know I'm not the right health coach for a lot of people. You are the right health coach for a lot of people. You have that broad spectrum way of working with people, simplifying very serious and big things that people just want to, if it's not just perfect, what am I supposed to do? And you just go, listen, you do one thing a week, change one thing a week. You have 52 things done in a year. You are a different human being now. And so I want to show real fast a picture of you as a different human being here.
There's a lot of pictures on the screen of me. Wow.
So look at this. Like, this was not a long period of time for you to get from this guy to this guy, right?
11 months.
11 months.
Yeah.
And how much weight was that?
About 50 pounds.
And was it hard?
No. When I say no, it was not because it was 11 months. Now, I could have lost that weight in like 2 months, but it would have been very hard. I would have been doing it like a, white knuckling kind of approach to dieting. And I did that for years, and that's kind of where that yo-yo thing comes into effect. And maybe all of us have tried yo-yo dieting. It's where you just, do a new boot camp, a new workout, you're eating nothing but rice cakes and salads. And that only goes for so long. And then you're like, when is the diet going to be over? As soon as that scale hits that magic number, whatever it is, phew, then it's over. But then you're just right back to the same old patterns that got you there. So that's what I did for at least 3 years, and just trying to lose this stubborn body fat. And so until I found a way to do it slower, but more sustainable, where I was just eating nutrient-dense food, where I was doing workouts that were enjoyable but not too strenuous, getting rid of the stupid cardio workouts that I was doing, because that was my big thing, just going on runs every day for 45 minutes, and that wasn't doing anything as far as fat loss goes. And so just those were the biggest needle movers for me. But like I said, it became easy. It became effortless, and it was so I think that's why I wanted to become a health coach. It's like, hey, if I can get people off this diet roller coaster and show them there's such a better way, an easier way, a more simple way to do this, where it might take a little bit longer, but I think it's the fastest way to lose fat. I really do, because if I'm able to lose fat over an 11-month period, or if you have 100 pounds to lose and it takes you 3 years, that sounds like a long time. Do I really have 3 years to invest in losing a significant amount of weight? It's like, well, first of all, you didn't gain that in 3 years. Yeah. So this is actually faster than, the 30 or 40 years you took to put that on. But the other thing is, it's just like, if you're able to keep that off, if you're able to lose a half a pound a week, and I never promise any metrics with people, I don't care about that as much, but just say half pound a week, that's not going to, I'm not going to sell any Weight Watchers or supplements with this, half a pound a week. That's like, well, so I can lose 20 pounds in a year. That doesn't sound all that great, but just think about if you're able to do that year after year, do it sustainably, do it where it doesn't even feel like dieting. That's the kind of approach where you can still enjoy life. You're never going to be hungry. That's the best part, is that you're never going to deprive yourself of food and have to suffer. So you're still going to be able to just eat like the best way you've ever been able to eat. You're going to be able to work out like I work out 15 minutes a day, a couple of times a week, and just we can all do that. And that's just what my passion is, what my mission is.
Yeah, and it's a beautiful mission, and I think you're crushing it, man. Like I said, you are so good at explaining the simplicity and the reasoning behind it, and you can just talk to 100 primal health coaches And we all have the same story of like, man, we yo-yoed. We couldn't get it right. We couldn't get anything to work. And then somebody introduced us to paleo, or by accident, like my story. I accidentally ate paleo on vacation and lost 5 pounds drinking and eating cheesecake and ice cream every day.
Can you say it like the guy who told you about paleo? I think he was from Australia, right?
Hey, mate, sounds like paleo.
Always remember that.
Luke Greenwood. I'll never forget that guy. Changed my life 8 years ago. So 9 years ago, man.
Wow.
So I had something I was thinking about during all that. Oh, the how often do you have to actually fight with people and tell them, if you're hungry, eat?
Well, not too often. As far as clients go, this is one of the rules that we talk about all the time, is just answering this call of hunger with a meal. So it's, that's one of the first things that we stress. And so, but it's a little bit of reshaping of our mindset to think that, I should, if I'm trying to lose body fat or trying to lose weight or trying to get healthy, I should be depriving myself. And that's just this diet culture that we've been told for decades that really hasn't worked. So but once people do it for, like, if they can just trust me for a couple of weeks and realize that, hey, I ate a bunch of food and I'm satiated and I didn't gain, and actually I might've lost some pounds, like, hey, then that's when the revelation comes, and they can continue to do that. So I haven't had any wars or drag out fights, but it's definitely a mindset that needs to change, and it doesn't happen overnight.
Because I'm a big fan of using the common sense. I call it common sensality. So I tell people, like, what do you do when you're thirsty? And they go, oh, I drink water. And I'm like, yeah, right. But then they're like, but you have to drink so much water a day. And I'm like, why? If you have to drink so much water a day, why don't you have to eat so much food a day? Like, is that your UPS?
Oh man, if it is, I better go right now. Like our favorite friend in these days right now is the Amazon guy, right?
Yeah, social distancing, man.
Exactly.
So I tell people, if you're thirsty, drink. If you're not thirsty, don't. If you're hungry, why would it not be any different? Do you need to grab that, honestly?
That makes no sense in terms of just if you have a ancestral or just like a natural approach and a mindset to how we're designed by God as human beings. I mean, I just can't imagine a deer out there in the woods, like going to a stream, who's really thirsty and like, I better only drink my body weight in ounces, it's like, no, it's like we just answer the call of thirst with a drink. And so I've done the drink a gallon a day water before. That is like,
it's uncomfortable.
Nightmare. Yeah. That's a nightmare.
But then you, like, when you stop drinking it, it's almost like your body has to readjust again back to just consuming normal food or normal water. But if you just eat whole foods, even if it's just one meal a day, eat whole foods and eat garbage the rest of the day, you won't need as much water. So
we've really complicated this so much. Just eating nutrient dense, real foods with not a bunch of paragraphs for ingredients, getting rid of packages, getting rid of foods that we know aren't supportive, foods that we know, whether intuitively or not, that are inflaming and that make us overweight and sick. I mean, just the sugar epidemic. I mean, I think that we should probably have anywhere from 6 to 10 teaspoons total of sugar for like a human. And that ranges from being a kid to an adult. And I think the average for Americans right now is like 44. So, I mean,
are you talking in a day?
Yeah, a whole day.
Teaspoons a day?
44 teaspoons a day, I think, is the national average. And that's average. So most people are doing more than that. And if you have one Starbucks coffee,
I think we should be having like 6 teaspoons a day, but I didn't know that 44 a day was the average. That is 14 tablespoons. So 14 tablespoons, 4 tablespoons to a quarter cup. You're looking at, what is that? Over 3/4.
Well, this is why it's confusing, because let's say you're trying to limit your sugar and you turn over the ingredients and all you see is grams. Unless if you live in Canada or the UK, you know exactly what that is. I have no idea what a gram is. I don't live in that world. So if you take the total grams, you divide it by about 4, that's going to give you how many teaspoons. And so, for instance, we don't think of maybe our double mocha frappuccino at Starbucks as a big sugar drink. It's like, it's kind of sweet, but it has 22 teaspoons of sugar in it. So
and that's the low end on those guys.
Yeah, and so I think of it this way. It's like if I went to Starbucks and got a big old latte and, with whipped cream on it, no one would think I'm some like crazy weirdo, or they would not want to do any kind of intervention on me. But if I took a cup of water and I started going to a sugar bowl and started dumping in 22 teaspoons, people would be like, dude, what is your issue? What is your malfunction, man?
The simplicity of what you say. I love it.
Yeah. And so it's like, we got to be a little bit diligent on this. We have to probably take some time to read labels, to think about how much these ingredients, and not to be like kind of what we talked about with the water. You don't have to sort of track everything. But just intuitively, we should probably know that, hey, this is really sneaky. And there's all these ingredients and things that are not doing us any favors. And we need to be really careful about our bodies as temples and these machines. We've talked a lot about mitochondria and just like the things that will just damage you. And, we really need to be a lot more careful and a lot more diligent because we're not getting any younger. And and with all of this, every time you get on social media, here's the 10 ways to boost your immune system here, and there usually are nothing about eating real food. Yeah. Nothing about lifestyle, nothing about saunas. It's usually just take the supplement. Continue on whatever lifestyle you're continuing to do. Just keep drinking the frappuccinos, everything like that, and just keep doing your lifestyle. But just take these essential oils or these things. And it's like we got to really kind of start, I think, from the ground up if we want to have lasting health.
Literally from the ground up. So like every time I do these videos, I'm standing on a grounding mat. Why would I not? I'm standing here.
Yep.
I could be standing outside, but I'm not. But like, how easy is it to stand on something that mimics the earth? So what if it cost me $50? It is changing my life for an extra like 4 hours a day. It's putting me in a natural state. So it's just the coolest. You just are terrific at all the ways you describe things. All the ways. Oh man, look how clear your video is now. Everybody gets to see your pretty face now. Hey,
yeah. I'm glad I didn't have to do any more than sauna. Chris, well, let me gush on you for a second for everyone watching this. I have 9 health heroes, 9 of them, and I've ranked them. So I started this journey about 3 years ago ish, and I just found the people that were the most influential, the people that just spoke the most truth to my life, the people that I just kind of glommed on for knowledge and for inspiration. And you, Mike Bruce, made the list of the top big 9 health heroes in Chris Pryor's life. So anyway, just want to thank you for that. And anyone watching this, man, follow this guy. Every word he says is gold. So
that means the world to me. I know the other people on your list, and I have no right to be on there. So that's every time you tell me that, I'm so close to tears. So I really appreciate that, man. And you have become one of the guys on my list as well, because you're a constant reminder to keep it simple. And you're a constant reminder of the amazingness that can happen by keeping it simple. Your micro workouts, when we saw you back in October, you had just started those for like a month, maybe. And from the year prior that we saw you to that 1 month into your micro workouts, Kim and I, we were walking around with shirts off because it's a bunch of coaches, and getting sunlight, not to show off for vanity's sake. Kim and I walked back into our room, and we were like, whoa, Chris got jacked. So we were like, this works, man. This is cool. So enough gushing on each other. You and I could talk for hours and hours, and maybe we should start doing like a morning with Chris and Mike, like a breakfast, maybe devotional or something, huh? Because I don't do devotionals at all, and I should. That's a big part of my life I want to change. But where can everybody find you, Chris?
The easiest way is to go to my website. It's 8tostraight.com. So it's the number 8 and then 2 straight. 2 being T-O and then straight, with G's and H's and things like that.
I think in our I have what do I have up? I have the optimizedlife.com, but I'll put
too many websites. 8 Straight's the easiest one to go to, and that just has the links to all of my portals.
Let me see. Is it this right here? 82straight.com?
That is it. Look at that.
Perfect. Beautiful. So this is a cool little this little app I got that I'm using, not app, whatever it is. It's just a cool thing. So so everybody, this is in the comments below. You can find Chris there. If you want to learn about how he did his infrared sauna, do you have like an opt-in for an infrared sauna? That'd be a cool opt-in.
That would be really cool. So
well, maybe you can make an opt-in and post it underneath the video.
I should figure out how to franchise my $300 sauna like kits, and
No.
it's like
50 cents to pay for the notes. And then if you want to reach out to Chris about anything, he is super good at just taking care of people. He lives to serve. So everything he's ever done has been in the service industry in some way or another. So reach out to him about the micro workouts and about the infrared sauna. And I'm super stoked to cram in there with you someday. Real tight, real awkward.
I would love to spoon with you in there. So.
All right, Chris, stay on for a second. I'm going to end the broadcast. Thank you, everybody, for watching and for chiming in. You guys have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.